Florida can pay for algae recovery on its own, FEMA says. By Isadora Rangel of STATE Florida has enough money to handle the Treasure Coast algae crisis on its own and without federal help, the Federal Emergency Management Agency spokesman said Monday.Gov. Scott failed to prove the state isn't able to handle the severity and magnitude of the blooms in his request for a federal emergency declaration, which the FEMA administration denied Friday. The state of Florida is the fourth largest state in the nation with a population of almost 20 million people, FEMA spokesman Rafael Lemaitre said. The state has robust capability to respond to emergencies and disasters. Scott himself has boasted the state's economy has grown to 3% and revenue was up by $1.3 billion this year, Lamaitre pointed out. Scott will appeal the denial, but his office on Monday didn't say when. He has 30 days from July 15 to do so. Florida's Department of Environmental Protection and Martin County have been testing the algae for toxicity, but neither have spent any money to clean it up. Both are monitoring the work of Stuart-based Ecosphere Technologies, which conducted a free demonstration of its method to clean algae from the water earlier this month. BASIS of denial states that request a federal state of emergency must meet the following requirements, Lamaitre said: is an effective response to the event beyond the capability of the state and the affected local governments? Does it require supplementary federal emergency assistance to save lives and to protect property, public health and safety, or to lessen or avert the threat of a disaster? FEMA's denial letter said the federal government already is helping the state, FEMA Administrator W. Craig Fugate wrote. The Environmental Protection Agency is testing St. Lucie River water. Also, the Small Business Administration is offering loans to businesses affected by the algae and opened the Stuart application office last week. It's unclear what kind of federal funding would become available with a declaration and whether it would make a difference, said Julie Hill-Gabriel, Audubon Florida's Deputy Policy Director. She said she hoped Friday's denial for assistance doesn't hamper coordination between the state and federal governments to address the algae. U.S. Senator Marco Rubio said he believes those federal dollars could pay companies to remove algae from the water. FEMA has approved about 85% of almost 400 disaster declaration requests since 2011, PolitiFact reported in June. Disaster standards are unclear and often ignored, and decisions seem arbitrary and politically motivated, according to a Pew Charitable Trusts 2013 report. President Barack Obama, for example, denied a 2013 request from Arizona's Republican governor after a wildfire killed 19 firefighters and destroyed 109 homes at an estimated cost of $6.8 million. George W. Bush denied the 2002 request from his brother, Governor Jeb Bush, to help 2,400 Apalachicola Bay workers who lost their jobs because of red tide, a toxic microscopic algae. FEMA said the situation was not severe enough for such a declaration. Jeb Bush's appeal was denied too. The STATE ISSUEScott repeatedly has blamed Obama for the algae crisis. saying the federal government has failed to fund restoration projects and Herbert Hoover Dike improvement project around Lake Okeechobee. Scott is expected to challenge Democratic U.S. Senator Bill Nelson in 2018. Scott is wrong to blame the federal government, said Audubon Florida Executive Director Eric Draper. The algae blooms are flowing into the street. Lucie River, Indian River Lagoon and Atlantic Ocean beaches with water discharged from Lake Okeechobee. Pollution entering the lake from the north is causing the blooms in the lake. Water quality is 100% a state issue, Draper said.